And we're back with me, Johnny McMurray, on the On the Spot Football Podcast for yet another fantastic guest. Tonight's guest is still active, unlike the rest of them, fresh off winning the Irish Cup, and one of the technically best players that I've happened to play with. It's my pleasure to introduce James Knowles. James?
Thank you very much, sir. It's great to be on.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I've listened to a load of them, and I have to say you're doing a great job. I went to the live pod as well.
We did.
And it was a brilliant night.
It was good fun.
Funny night.
It was very funny. It kind of went somewhere that I didn't expect it to go now. The guest kind of helped out massively, but DJ was on his knees a few times, and Liam Baggett was singing all the Catholic songs of the day. So these things happen.
But I think that's why everyone enjoyed it so much, seeing the other side of people.
Exactly. And hopefully that's, for everybody who didn't go, paying your money and not turned up to support me, then that's fine. Fair enough. But there'll be another one at some stage, so hopefully it'll be bigger, hopefully it'll be better.
It will be, no doubt.
But here, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem, honestly. It's great to be here. Whenever you obviously text me about it, it was sort of him and Han. But it's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of people come on, mate, they're quite sceptical.
Yeah.
They're afraid of saying, probably overplaying it in their heads, they're afraid of saying too much of the wrong things or too much of the right things, but it's a very genuine conversation. Yeah. It's just me and you. And
I was sort of thinking when you asked me, going, is he running out of gas, or does he think my legs are going a wee bit here, or I don't know.
Is he trying to retire me off? No, man, you've still got it. You can probably play to your 40, you know what I mean? I'm not technically that good, you see. Ball was always bouncing off me, so you can just sit in there.
Just swivel on it.
You can just serve. But mate, listen, thank you. It's a pleasure, but we have to get straight into it. Not only are you a busy man, your business is flat out, so trying to tie you down to a couple of days here was tight going, but Finest Blinds, I've seen all the boys in the house. You've a couple of Irish League stars representing you and out fixing the houses out. So
we do indeed. We have Gareth Dean, Decky Dunn and Kushney on.
I would say you're in safe hands there, but
I don't know about that. We have a good 5-side team, but they're fighting over nets. No, it's good. Business is going really well.
Good.
We're very, very busy, which I'm buzzing about, and I have a great team that's with me and helps us along the line.
Good.
So it's
nice that you've incorporated all your mates in it. That's one thing that I love about it. It's like kind of having like a football dress now, but it's your workplace.
It's a difficult one to be fair. Gaz was the first one, but he's sensible.
Yeah.
The rest of them aren't really that sensible, which can be difficult. But I have to say they've come in and they know the difference now between a mate and their boss.
Yeah.
In a way, so. No, it's good. Also, Will in the office, and you have to give them a shout out as well. They're all good lads.
Now, I got lucky. I moved into a new house, and the first person you have to call is somebody to fix the blinds. And Mrs. always want their blinds done. So I was like, what do I do here? How do I pick this? But yet there was like a massive book, the colours, everything. I was thinking, going like, what happened to just white? Like, just turn the thing and it's
it would make our job so much
easier. Keep the light out,
you know what I mean? There's too much to choose from.
Yeah.
And even in my house, I didn't get to pick it either. It was Camille. It was like, we're getting this. I had no say in it.
The only thing is you get to do it. So it's like, I'll put them in.
Yeah,
gift.
Exactly. You cost me money.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But other than that, mate, you're still playing. You're still active. You're fresh off winning the Irish Cup. History maker.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What was it like?
Unbelievable. Starting our, obviously a good place to start. I've had a long history in Irish Cup, like losing 2 finals and different things. Like when I signed for Dungannon, I was sort of thinking that had maybe, passed me a wee bit, but to go and win it for Dungannon was incredible. Like a good family club and no expectations on you. It was like a dream.
Yeah.
And finishing with a fairy tale, the way it ended, it seemed like it was written already.
Yeah.
It was just incredible.
It was such a good day to be at. It was one of the things I haven't been to much games since either I'm working at them or I don't really get the chance to actually want to go to the house because the child's there, and I'm like, I'm not going to go watch this. But the Irish Cup final, I was like, let's go to it. But what a day. The atmosphere was incredible. Like, and you could actually see throughout the game that I was like, Dungannon are going to win this year. Like, you just knew that you were the better side.
Yeah.
Definitely. It wasn't like, Clinball barred them and they got away with it. It was...
I know.
Very much the other side.
It was obviously you go into an Irish Cup final and you look around you and you see the crowd and you're buzzing and motivated to go out and try and do it for the whole town. And as soon as the game starts, you don't see any of it, and you're involved in it, and you sort of grow into the game as well. And you can feel that as well. What you were saying, going, it's our day. Until probably the setting off.
Yeah.
You're sort of thinking it changes here.
They
get the goal later on, you're going, Cliftonville. That's what Cliftonville does. You hear the crowd going, you're like, oh no, here we go. But it was just a great ending.
VAR was in that day. Questionable.
Yeah.
Questionable.
Yeah.
We'll not dive too much into it, but questionable.
Yeah.
But before we will touch on it all, because it is something that I want to speak to you about, and I want to dive into the history of Dungannon and Rodney being there with you and what he brings to the table, because an incredible person, family-run club, as you've touched on. But to take you back, we like to start at the start. So, Lisburn Youth, I always remember knowing or hearing of James Knowles as a kid, not to blow smoke, but you were easily one of the best and most talented kids around. Everyone kind of knew of you or where you were. But talk to me about being that young kid. You were at Lisburn Youth, the teams, the trials.
As you said, I sort of grew up, and I realised that I was decent very, very early on. And I signed for Lisburn Youth. That's where I grew up. It made sense. It was on my doorstep, and it made sense also because of the amount of players that they produced year after year. And look, the trials and so on sort of came really early on, and in my career, probably around 12, where my first trial was
12 is mental.
Is mad. So you're going away, and the first one I remember vividly was Portsmouth,
right?
And it was my first sort of taste of like, hold on a minute, I could actually, become a player here.
Yeah.
I would go Portsmouth, I would go to Middlesbrough. I grew up in a family that are Liverpool mental.
Okay.
Apart from my dad, who, funnily enough, was an Everton man.
Right, okay.
So early doors, it was like, it's a competition to see, is he going to be Everton? Is he going to be Liverpool? And thankfully, I chose Liverpool. But from a young age, I was just football mad. Liverpool came knocking, and I had to go.
Yep.
I went over there a couple of times. I went to a trialist game at Liverpool, and I can remember the coach sort of speaking to us, and he was like, look, I have a guest here coming in to chat with us. And I grew up as a massive Stevie G fan. And next thing, the door opens and Stevie G walks in, and I'm looking at him like,
just awe, like shock,
proper awe, like growing up. Oh, Stevie G was my idol, blah blah blah. But he walks in, and I'm just like, wow. And he, says a few words, go out and shows what you can do, and says a few words and so on. But that was the first real of like, wow, I want to be a footballer. I would go then to Liverpool invite me over to the Champions League semi-final, the Champions League final in Athens 2007, which was a crazy experience with being a Liverpool man. And from then I would go to Everton. I would travel away to Doha with them for a couple of weeks. I would go away to Washington for a couple of weeks, and it was like, I was never in the country.
Yeah.
I was never at school. Honestly, at a young age, it happened so quickly. And at this time, I would probably say I was like 12 to start with, 13, 14, 15. I was travelling back and forth. And I would then go to Everton. And believe it or not, Everton was probably the club that I mentioned that before. Everton, no. I went to Everton, and it was the first sort of club that I fell in love with because of the people.
Right.
There was a guy there.
Even though you're a Liverpool fan?
Yes.
You're just like, I don't really care. Everton seems to be the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The academy director then was Phil Cannon,
Okay.
Scouser, and the coach there was Terry McPhillips. Whatever it is, they just were like a family and looked after me. And I went back there 4 or 5 times, and probably really late on, Blackburn would then come in for me.
Okay.
And the only reason why they came in was because Terry McPhillips, who was the coach at Everton then, moved on to Blackburn. And he probably had said to them, look, you should have a look at this kid. And that's how I got the call from Steve Nixon, the academy director then. He brought me over, and I was back and forth there. So at probably 15, I had a really, really tough decision on my hands of who am I going to sign for.
So just to kind of get in context here, you've probably got 6, 7 clubs that are probably all interested in signing you at this one time. You're a kid. Mm-hmm. What does it come down to for you? Because if Blackburn haven't been on the radar, is it comfort in the management and the staff that have went to Blackburn that maybe persuade you? Or do you still think that I want to go to Liverpool, or the heart takes you to Liverpool or Everton because it's supposed to be and it's your comfort to move?
No, at that age I was like a cocky kid, a confidence type of player that just wanted to go out and show everyone what I could do. And you are right, the expectations that was put on me back then, were so high, and I believed it myself. That I was going to make it to the top. But that's what I loved, was like the comfort. And to be fair to my family and so on back then, there was no pressure at all on me.
Yeah.
It was like, son, go to wherever you feel comfortable.
Your dad wasn't like,
no,
James, we could be getting free Everton tickets for life here.
Exactly.
Come on. Like, ways on.
The other part of the family's going, go to Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a short distance at that stage probably between the two, but at the same time, you're like, you've 2 of the biggest clubs in England. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I went to Arsenal. Arsenal had offered a deal, and Liam Brady, who's a legend at Arsenal too, wanted me to sign there. And it got to a point where I was like, Dad, I don't want to go anywhere else. I need to make a decision here.
Yeah.
And I remember Newcastle coming in at this point and saying, can you come over? And I remember saying no.
No, don't need no option.
I remember saying no, and they were like, travel over.
Yeah.
You don't need to kick a football. You're going to come over and we're going to offer you a day. And you can come over on a Saturday, have a look around the training ground, offer them a contract, and then go and watch a match. And I remember arriving, you're treated like royalty.
Yes.
They want you to sign, obviously, and showed us, myself and my dad around the training ground, and you go into a classroom, they put their pitch up, and they put the contract offer on the screen. And I remember looking at it, and honestly, they offered me a 1-year scholar, 3-year pro, £60,000 sign-on fee, and £1,300 a week for 3 years, and I turned it down.
Did you know only 6% of people are getting enough fiber? That's why Quaker created Fiber February, a month-long movement to show your gut a little more love. It's like dry January, only easier and more delicious. Quaker has over 100 delicious options that are a good source of fiber. So go buy Quaker Oats today and join the Fiber February movement for a healthy gut.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
So you're 15 and you're getting offered like 70 grand a year.
Yeah.
After your first initial YTS.
Yeah.
And a black bag. Kenny Bruce bag.
Yeah. 100%. No, and that's not me coming in and just saying that, just throw it out there. Like,
no, it's
at that early stage, it sort of shows you that I was a decent player. Now,
This probably is the
I
first
don't
time.
know what happened, but yeah, I was a decent player.
This is probably the first time that somebody's put money in the context of what a contract would be like.
Okay.
So this is incredible for us. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because you hear about kids now.
Yeah.
And you hear about they're going over and there's people on £3,000 or £4,000 a week. And you're sitting going like, imagine of it. There's no way you're getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they could be.
Yeah.
But this, like back then too.
Yeah,
And-
what would that be? What, 15
years ago,
16, 17 years ago, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're talking £70,000 a year for 16-year-olds. That's at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Would it have been one of the better offers?
It was the best one I was offered then.
They felt like probably they had to be like, we haven't really spoke to him and we need to just offer him.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and I then used that offer. To be honest with you, it's the first time I sort of had seen that. A lot of the other offers were a lot less than that, and I ended up going back to Blackburn. Now, not me personally, I'm too young. Obviously, my dad and some other people helping him as well. Go back to Blackburn and say, look, we've been offered this. Is there anything you can do? And what I sort of look back on now is the 1 year scholar, 3 year pro, the extra year pro is massive.
Yes.
That I probably could have got if I negotiated.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up signing the 1 year scholar, 2 year pro with Blackburn at the time.
So you think that the only thing that you would have potentially changed is just to give yourself that extra
100%.
year?
Yeah. Now, me being me as a kid then,
Probably thought you didn't.
I was like, I don't need it.
I'll get a new deal.
I'll get a new deal. No
Yeah.
problem. Naivety, looking back now in hindsight, blah, blah, blah.
That's completely blown my mind.
Really?
Mate, as a 16-year-old to get offered that money is insane.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
it definitely is, and it puts it into perspective when you get it so early.
Yeah.
You haven't a clue what money is, that it's just handed to you
Yes.
as a kid. And you don't realise it's hard to come by. You know? Like,
I think my dad sitting in the corner here, he would be like, hey son, you're going to go to Newcastle? You're going to take out
Yeah.
the black bag, you're going to enjoy the money for 3 years and then you're going to come back?
100%. 100%.
And he'd be like, I can't book you any flights here. My phone credit's going done. can't speak to you for a month.
And that money's gone into this account.
It's going into the big Rabs account.
Yeah.
Mate, that's insane.
Yeah.
But at that stage, like, again, not trying to blow smoke, you're the best kid in Northern Ireland. You're the cream of the crop at that stage.
Yeah, I was, and I'm not afraid to say that. I really was, and I did feel that, you know, when you're going over the trials and so on, and you're sort of like, you're seeing the levels then at that stage, I believed that I was better than them kids as well at that age. And I went over and showed it as well, which is, you know, why you were getting the contract offers at that stage as well. It was a great position to be in. I loved it. What
For the experiences you've got
Yeah.
for such a short period of time from such a young period,
Yeah.
like Liverpool, Athens, Doha, these trips to Boston or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Washington. Mate, you've seen half the world by the time you're 15.
Literally.
It's insane.
Literally. And
I went to
you're getting out of
Ballycastle.
school.
Do you know what I mean? Had a fish
Still
and
ended
chip
up better
down. Had a fish and chip down Ballycastle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk to me about Blackburn. So what was it that actually made you go to Blackburn? What swayed you towards it? Obviously it wasn't money motivated, it was more so comfort.
Yeah, 100%. As I said before, it mainly was why Terry McPhillips had moved from Everton, who I loved at the time. I was close to signing there, and I signed there basically because of him. I loved his training. I loved how he treated me. I loved my time over there. And I felt at that stage with what my mindset was then was like, if I sign for like a slightly lower Premier League club, I'll maybe get a chance earlier in my career.
Yes.
So that was my initial thought then. And going over there, I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I knew it was the next step I needed to. And you hear the stories, you know, of people saying I got over and I was homesick, this and that. And honestly, it definitely wasn't an excuse of mine. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I think it also helped because whenever we got there, you hear players that go and stay with a family by themselves. We were put up in like dorms. There was like 20 dorms within the same place in the training complex, and it was all the lads together, which of course is going
makes
to help.
a difference.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot recently about this because I listen to so many podcasts, and I try and take bits and pieces from different people's pods to try and improve this.
Okay.
And one of the things that I've always heard recently is that people enjoyed life more whenever certain clubs had a massive house.
Yeah.
And the boys were all chucked in.
Yeah.
Because it just meant that they're all around their mates. So they constantly have stuff to do. If they've got like a pool table or they've got these things on site, it gives them something to do when they're not going home sitting in their bedroom.
Yeah, 100%. That definitely helps. Don't get me wrong. Monday to Friday, it's great because all the lads are together.
Yep.
Now, I would say probably half were English lads, maybe from London, Manchester, Liverpool. They would go home at the weekends.
Yeah.
And then you'd maybe have 7 or 8 lads that are foreign lads, from Sweden, Croatia, Australia, New Zealand, and then Irish lads and that as well. And sometimes they'd have things to do with their family and you'd be stuck there by yourself. So it would be a nightmare if you had that every weekend. It really would.
Did you have your family over much?
A good bit, yeah. Whenever I could. Especially in the second year. Obviously the first year that I signed, you're only on a scholarship, so it's £105 a week.
Yeah.
And you can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So that second year, definitely. Well, whenever I turned 17, just before the end of the season that first year, I would probably travel home a wee bit more, even if it was for a couple of nights.
How did you fit into that team? So whenever you signed your contract and you get ready to go, you're now engrossed in full-time football. Mm-hmm. How quickly do you feel that you settle in, and how does that time period of you starting and finishing 2 years later go?
So the way Blackburn is it's within a town or a village, Brockhall village. You go in and the first team complex is just on the left-hand side at the start of the village. You then drive down to the bottom of the village where the academy was. Okay. So within that first year, that's where I was based, training every single day. Double sessions, single session on a Friday, game on a Saturday with the 18s in my first year. But the initial goal, and they always said to us, was you don't want to be based here. You want to be based up the hill.
Makes sense, yeah.
Where it's the reserves first team. So that was everyone's goal in the first year. I thought I settled quite well. I thought I would progress up the hill slightly quicker, but I didn't within the first year, which sort of gave me more motivation.
Okay.
That sort of off season to work a wee bit harder, and I came back like proper fit.
Did you come home for the off season?
Yeah.
Who did you train with? Did you train by yourself, just running?
Literally just myself, out running in the gym. At that time, I was trying to build myself up. I was so fragile, small, skinny kid, but so fit. Yeah. And technically very good. So that was the part I needed to work on, and I tried my hardest then. So I did. But I go for the second year, and obviously you're on bigger money. You signed your pro deal. You start to spend a few quid.
Yeah.
And the first thing I wanted to do was buy a car.
Right.
Because of where Blackburn is situated, it's like an hour from Liverpool, an hour from Manchester. So I just wanted to drive. So you pick family up from the airport, different things. So I'm out every night doing 2-3 hour sessions. Just trying to pass it as quickly as I could. And I never forget it. I passed, and then it was time to buy a car. And I can remember looking to buy cars, and I'm thinking to myself, going, how is there so many cars in the road? They're so expensive. That's how I was advised.
That's why you needed that bag from Newcastle
at that time.
Get me my Range Rover.
I couldn't get any finance as a kid at all, and I was really down. I loved Sirocco's then. I was like, no, I can't get it.
Yeah,
can't get it. I remember going in to Manchester into the garage, and I bought the Astra. Had to win just just pay for it.
Right.
It was insured for 2 days down the road. And then I get home, I'm asking no one. And I then have to insure it. And then I realise my insurance is like $5,500. Just pay for it. I'm like,
No money left.
no money left. Just spend everything. There you go. It was a funny story. This I had it a month, and I think it was a Friday with a single session in the morning, and one of the boys had left the training ground and sort of went up the hill and round the corner, and there's like houses being built on the left hand side where there's dirt all over the road. I've sort of sped up the hill in the first month, went around the corner, the whole back end of the car comes flying out. I've shit myself. I've tried to put my foot in the brake, or I've put it in the accelerator and went bang straight into the wall, rode it off completely. I swear.
In the training ground?
Literally 100 yards up the hill away from the training ground. I'm in the car with a Croatian, Tony Fastic, and Cam Nelson in the front seat in New Zealand. They're like, what the f***, Jose? I've smashed my head off a steering wheel, blood all over me. Yes. And the next thing, academy director comes down the other way, and he's like, what are you playing at?
Mate.
Well, we kids, we'll learn from it. But literally, I went to shot myself, put my foot in the brake, accelerated, bang, straight into the wall. Rode it, honestly, the bumper right up to the windscreen. Rode it off. Didn't go through insurance, ended up paying for the car to be fixed. So I was given great advice at that stage.
So somebody's really helped you out there, haven't they? Be like, here, you'll be fine. Just throw money at it and you'll be sweet.
Yeah, all good.
Mate. How did that stand with you, though? Like, in terms of, I mean, accidents happen. Do you know what I mean? So, how did they take that as a club? They thinking, like, you're messing around then.
Exactly,
you're flying around here in your car and you've crashed it with 2 other players. We're probably going.
That's how they go down to start with. And then I'm pulled into the office and I'm literally explaining my story. Like, genuine, I've hit a bit of dirt. I've panicked and the car spun out, which can happen. I've only passed a test a month, and I eventually sort of went past that, of them thinking, he's a messer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So again, I just put my head down and got on with it. And then within 6 months of performing well and getting my head down, I had moved from the academy up to the first team / reserve complex.
What was that like? Is it very different?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the way you approach things then, is it all like...
Yeah, you're sort of like just coming out of your shell a year with the coaches and so on and all the staff down below, and then you get moved up, and again...
It's like starting a new school.
You're going in the morning, all the first team's there, and you're eating breakfast with all the first team. Sam Allardyce's manager, and you're obviously having to speak up and chat to them and obviously try and show your personality in front of them. And you sort of see their lifestyle, coming into the car park with Ferraris, Lamborghinis.
No Astras or like...
No Astras. I parked my way up a street.
Yours is parked in the wall. Like, I seen you a couple weeks ago.
But different. Yeah, different. Which I loved. I loved that part of it.
Whenever you're there and you go into that sort of caliber of player, and you talk about Sam Allardyce, what sort of players are in that first team dressing room at that stage when you step up?
So within my youth team down below, there would have, who progressed before me, would have been Phil Jones,
okay,
and Grant Hanley,
okay,
who were 2 obviously big centre halves. They literally were men at that age, which progressed pretty quickly. In the first team, you had Michel Salgado outside,
right? Yes,
the legend. Chris Samba, Morgan Gims Pedersen, David Dunn, Jason Roberts, Keith Andrews.
Okay,
he's the manager now at Brentford. Paul Robinson. All them types of players.
Did it take you back at all? I know it's different. You're not walking into like a Cliftonville dressing room type thing. Do you know what I mean? Because there's levels to the game. But even at that, whenever you go into those sort of dressing rooms for us here, sometimes obviously you got to go away, got the experience, but like you're like, they're all first team players, and then you actually look at the outside picture, you won the Premiership, and you're like, they're elite.
Yeah. I was that type that it didn't faze me.
Right.
It didn't faze me. So like at that sort of stage, I would probably be training with them.
Okay.
Quite often. And I just loved showing them. You know, I was still confident at that sort of stage. There was no real pressure on me. It was the second year, but don't get me wrong, I would still ball boy, you know, at the first team games on Saturday at Ewood Park, and you'd watch them playing against Liverpool United, all against top players, so you knew that that's where I want to get to.
But it's a good like
level
grounding there enough. It's like, I'm so close yet.
Yeah.
I'm almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that year, it was the end of that year, so I was probably up there and I had 6 months just playing reserves football. 18s was the first year, this is second year, and I'm playing reserves every week. So I'm doing pretty well. Probably not at the levels that I thought I was going to get to be quite honest, but I was doing okay. Which obviously would lead us into the third year.
How does that go for you? Like, towards the end of that second year, coming into the third year, are you starting to maybe not fall out of confidence, but start to realise where you're actually sitting in terms of, like, I've hit the ground running, I'm here, I've got here, I'm better than these people, and then it's like it's all sort of catching, and then maybe going past?
It's a great question, because that's literally exactly what I felt happened to me. You know, where you're a kid, you have no fear, and you just go out and express yourself. Whereas you coming into the third year and you're like, I've got to perform. Like, football is everything to me.
Yes.
I've got to the stage, like, you mess it up within, 1 year. And I felt it a wee bit. I didn't want to go home and tell everyone, yeah, I'm home.
Yeah.
You know, you had that in the back of your mind and you were under pressure, but look at, that's the difference, and you soon realise that it's not just your talent.
Yeah, I get you.
It's all upstairs, and the mental game is massive. But that third year, we're obviously in pre-season, and you'd be training with the first team, and you come in and the squads will go up, in the pre-season games. And this was a period where Sam Allardyce had got the sack, and Steve Keane had come in as manager. So I'm sort of thinking, going, hopefully he fancies me, blah, blah, blah. And I come in. I hadn't been in the first two squads of pre-season. I think this is maybe the third or fourth. And you look at the sheet and you're in the 25-man squad with a couple of the other reserve players, and you're thinking, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, chance.
I can't wait to tell my family, go up and speak to them, blah, blah, blah. But it was a way to Morecambe. I remember it so well. You're obviously travelling with the first team, you're on the bus. But the first team, you're amongst it. You travel away. And you're sort of thinking, just be on the squad. Like, give me 15 minutes. Let me show you.
100%. Boy.
And we're in the changing room. Steve King's doing his team talk. And he puts the squad up. My eyes just glance straight away to the bench. And I don't see my name. So he's finished the team talk, and one of the guys next to me who travelled the reserves too, I think it was Mika, he goes, "Good luck, bro." I didn't even realise that it was starting.
Yeah. Naively, you're like,
I'm just looking directly, and I swear to God, and from that moment I was proper buzzing. And usually it's full of kids, them reserve games. Like I mentioned players before, I was starting in midfield with Keith Andrews, Morton Games Pedersen, and I was in the 10.
Yeah.
Salgado, Samba, all them boys are playing like. And you talk about opportunities, you talk about luck. That was my chance that I didn't take that day.
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough.
When you think about it now and you think back, what do you think didn't go right for you? Like, if you try and analyse that day in your own mind, what do you think, and it's in hindsight here, everything can be rosy. I could have done this, and I could have took that touch past whoever.
I thought I should have been braver, as in like not getting on the ball. Like that's what I wanted to do. I was playing at 10, and obviously the boys behind me, Pedersen, Keith Andrews, like I wanted to drop in to get the ball because I wasn't getting much of the ball, and I probably should have just went, this is my only opportunity, could be my only one.
I get you.
Go and get it.
Yeah.
Where I was thinking more,
they've told me to do this.
I
Keep your
have to
position.
stay and be in these areas and wait till it comes to me.
Yeah.
And if I'd do it again, I'd probably take control of the whole situation and tried to prove it a bit more.
From the outside looking in here, it's not that you missed your opportunity, it's just that you stuck to what you were told and you didn't play your actual game.
Yeah.
Does that annoy you more?
Probably slightly, looking back at it now. I remember, now it was on the ball now and again, and I remember one chance sort of falling to me, and like 9 times out of 10 I'd slot it, and I sort of like dragged it, you know, you drag it wide and you're like, I've just snatched at that just because of the whole occasion.
The situation that you're in.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like going, just breathe, score. And it changes everything, you know. But
also in hindsight too, like you usually get more than the one chance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's your one chance and you're putting all that pressure on you just for one 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where the level changes. I think that's where for kids that probably this that are going to cross, you might only get 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you get every run of games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll try them out here for a couple of games. You might have to go into it.
Yeah.
You don't get those opportunities
No.
in England.
You don't at all. It's a complete game of opinions, like. It really is. And I've seen it firsthand. Phil Jones, who, in my opinion, was miles off it.
Yeah.
Honestly. And he was probably second or third down. Gav Gunning being one Irish lad. I think he was caught out at the weekend when there was a game on the Wednesday in the Carling Cup or something, and he was supposed to be playing. Phil Jones got the call up against Notts Forest, I think. I could be completely wrong. I'm his man of the match.
And that just kicks you on the road.
Just bump. Ended up playing the Premier League on the Saturday against Chelsea, and that's the famous one where he smashed Drogba and Lampard.
Yeah.
And it's literally 2-3 games. That's you done.
Settled in, isn't it? That's you like,
done.
I'm ready now.
Yeah, that's you done. And I remember him sitting in the changing room, and Sky Sports News is on, and he threw a comment out to David Dunn, was sitting next going, wouldn't it be great to be them boys talking about United? I remember Dunny turning around to him saying, it won't be long. And obviously that January's gone, like 20 mil. Only played 6-7 years, I think. Brilliant.
So in hindsight, it only takes 90 minutes, but it could be the whole career.
Yeah,
So, mate,
that bit of
It
confidence
goes either
as well.
side. It's not just you could lose it all 90 minutes, but you could also create a whole
100%.
life.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things that people need to understand too. And kids who go over, I think it's more publicised now.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have heard back then that it's only 1% of people become professional footballers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? At that age, 15 years ago, that was never spoke about. Now the statistics come out. Now you're trying to let kids know early doors that
Yeah.
you may go over on trial, but there's a good chance that you're not going to make it. Whereas back then, it was like that wouldn't have been even remotely spoken about.
Yeah, I would say it's always going to be hard to tell a kid that. Like, I know it now, obviously, and like, if you told me that back then, I'd have looked at you and be like, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
And probably, you want the kid to have that attitude
You
too.
need to have the
and
confidence.
that confidence.
100%,
Do you know what I mean? And be let down and learn themselves, which I completely learned the hard way,
Yeah.
which I'm thankful for now, sitting in this chair. Because, look, I could have had a career, you know, in the Championship or League One, coming to 33 now and thinking to myself, going,
What do I do next?
what do I do next?
100%.
Life after football, you're not thinking about it. And that's the problem then, when you don't plan before.
Whenever you kind of get to that stage where you probably know now that you're coming home, or there's an option or potential that you're not going to stay at Blackburn, How does that realisation feel for you? Obviously, devastation kicks in because obviously you want to be a professional footballer. We all do.
Yeah.
Is it tough for you?
Massively. It was really, really tough. And at the time, I was probably 50-50. You know, it was probably 3 months towards the end of the season. You get called into the office. Steve Keen's there. Gary Boyer, the reserve manager's there. And they're like, sorry, son, there's no contract here for you. And it's devastating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Your confidence has went from here to even further down, you know. And I struggled. I massively struggled after that. And I went on a few trials. I went to Hull. I went to Kilmarnock. I remember going to Leicester, playing an in-house game at Leicester and doing really well. It was a game where nothing went wrong. One of those games you're walking off and being like, right, I've got a contract sorted.
Yeah.
Nigel Pearson had ended up saying to Steve Beaglehole, who was, I think, the reserve manager then, but he was under 21s manager too, who brought me, ended up saying to him, no, we don't need him with Danny Drinkwater. And I'm going, he's 24 playing your first team every week. But that was the moment where I was like, when you get released and you're 19, 20, to go to that next club, you need to be ready to walk into the first team. And
yes,
I can look back and properly say I was nowhere near ready to walk into a first team at that level. Like,
yeah,
nowhere near.
What made you want to? Like, did you want to come back, or were you thinking, do you know what? Maybe I'll just try and go to Scotland. Because most people you would see filter down. Do you know what I mean? Like some people,
yeah,
start off with them and filter every league, make a career until they're 34 and they've studied their whole career in England, and you're going, how have you managed to do that?
If I was offered a deal, I'd probably taken it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't. And how I came about with Cliftonville was my dad's a floor layer and works on a lot of sites with all their contractors, and George McMurray, being a plumber, he sort of knew.
Right.
So my dad picked up the phone to Gio and says, look, can he come down, and James is coming home, can you get a look at him, sort of thing. So obviously went down, played an in-house game or pre-season game against Portadown, I think it was, and had a great game, and from there sort of made sense to sign for Cliftonville because I seen the team at that stage too.
Team was ridiculous at that stage. So you've came in, you've signed for Cliftonville, you've obviously had conversations with Brezzy and stuff who's there at the time. Mm-hmm. This is the second year that they've won. Did they win the league the second year?
No, this is the first year. The first year they win the league, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we spoke about this because obviously people know.
Yeah.
We had Katz on last week who was brilliant, but he spoke about that team and the squad that we had, because this is probably the first days that we've kind of with each other quite a few times.
Yeah.
But that was where I actually got to meet you, and what a squad, what a dressing room.
It was mental.
It was mental. I try and not put too much emphasis on it, but it was crazy.
It was, but you knew, the players, the quality of players were a joke. Cats jumped in midfield alone. Me signing, trying to break into that midfield.
Yeah.
Boise, Joe, just give them the ball.
Literally.
Let them put the ball in it. And the skipper, George McMullen, honestly, see when the man spoke,
yeah,
everyone literally just shut up and listen. In the huddle, when he speaks, it's honestly, shivers run through you, and you're ready to run through that wall.
I remember doing it. I think we played the Welders the cup game, and it was one of the only chances that I'd really settled in before I left.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's against the Welders. It was you were armed up to the teeth to go out to battle.
100%. It was ridiculous. He wouldn't let anyone slack at all. He's one of the main reasons why there was success.
100%.
Definitely.
The only thing that I don't kind of appreciate from George is people don't understand that he was actually ridiculously quality. The technique. I remember in training, we used to like hit free kicks and he used to hit them like the way Pirlo did.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you hitting the ball like that? It was insane. I
know.
was like, going like, that's nuts. And then he's just
I don't know.
plodding around the place.
Could have played anywhere.
Yeah,
well.
literally
Anywhere.
doesn't get the credit that he
doesn't.
deserves.
And I'll say that about Katz and Jonty too.
Yeah.
The exact same. Obviously, playing against them would have been an absolute nightmare because they'd rat you, but they could also play as well. But to start with, obviously signed there. I had my negotiations with Jared Lawler, who's the best negotiator in the world.
Yeah. That's why he's in the full now. Yeah. Just speaking of that there, Jared, you need to get in the hot seat some stage. So,
so yeah, he signed me for buttons.
Jared, I'm on this. Clip will give you 50 quid a week. You're like, it's not really how it works. He's like, 50 quid. There you go.
All right then, no problem.
You take it.
But I loved it. What a team, and it was exactly what I needed at that stage.
Yeah,
playing for Brezzy, because there wasn't really like any tactical stuff or like working on this and training. It was, I'm picking a team, and if I can make them all happy and gel, they're going to beat the team they're playing against.
Yeah,
he was just a great manager of people.
That's what we spoke about. Like his training sessions were like the wee game.
Yeah, just play games.
And then it was straight into 7v7s and it was just people smashing balls into that continuously. And I'm like, that worked for them and they won back-to-back.
100%. I always remember him saying, like, starting training at 6 or something on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because he wanted the players to be finished so they'd go home and watch the Champions League or something mad like that. But yeah, he just knew you didn't even have to go and speak to him if you were out of the team. Like, me personally, in my opinion anyway, like he would come to me before he knew what I was thinking, which he just had everyone on board.
Yeah.
And he didn't need to do anything else, and he knew that.
It's hard to find a team where people actually want to be successful for each other, if that makes sense. That's the way that dress was. Like,
it was.
Regardless if you're left out, it was never a thing where I'm raging today.
Yeah.
He's playing him instead of me. It was like, oh, sweet, and I'll come on.
No problem, I'll come on. Like that season, November, that year, I had a great month and ended up winning the league player of the month that November, and was flying. And I come out of the team, I don't know how, probably Jonty kicked me in training or something like that.
I need back in. I'll do you.
Yeah. But I maybe had a wee niggle or something like that, and them two went in, and see when the momentum went on at Climble, them two trying to get in front of them, you just knew they're obviously top players. And I learned a lot from them, because I came back and what they had in their game I probably needed more of.
Yes,
because I was more decent on the ball, but they won every second ball and picked it up,
showed you the game,
managed it. So it was a great watch. But
Successful
I knew
watch,
with
though.
Brezzy too, yeah.
So I mean,
Like I was coming on every game. 1-0 up, 1-0 down. He knew, like 70 minutes, Jimmy's coming on.
and you come in that team at that stage, fresh, winning a league title, like history again. You've made history quite a few times here.
I know.
There's a wee spell here, something.
Yeah. So obviously you go on and win the league, with that squad.
You win the league and you win the League Cup first year.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Great parties.
Great parties.
Yeah. And the thing is with that squad too, they knew when to work, when to party.
Yeah.
It was a great sort of balance they had. The game against Linfield, George McMullen penalty, incredible. And I think it was Boise maybe won the penalty. I can just remember whoever it was anyway picking the ball up and handed it to Gio. And if I sort of said it now, I could say that every Cliftonville player and staff would have handed it to Gio, just because you know he's going to score.
The occasion,
Yeah, and obviously scoring of a photo on my phone.
That's the photo, like,
on his back.
everyone, he's like that, isn't it? And then his arms out in front of the cap type thing.
Yeah, and it's obviously printed there now. Unbelievable.
What a day, what scenes.
You go in the change room, boxes of bought everywhere. A box of WKD just for Joe. That's everything.
Straight up the shamrock.
Yeah.
But no, what a squad. The only thing is that, did you only sign a 1 year?
I came back and probably for, I think it was 4 or 5 years, I just signed 1 year. Just because I was holding on to, I want to get back, I want to get back. I still was holding on to the dream.
Because you win the league title at Cliftonville first year, League Cup as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sign for Linfield.
That first year as well, by the way, we'll go back the Irish Cup final.
Was that year as well? Travel? Yes.
The contract situation where the week before the Irish Cup final, which you're obviously buzzing for, I remember getting called into the office and just Jared and Brezzy's there, and we're like, Knowlesy, I don't know what's going on or what we have done, but your contract's run out a week before the Irish Cup final. And
no way.
You can't be a part of it.
Right? I didn't know that.
So we're trying to get Jim Boyce in to see if there's anything we can do to extend your contract and whatnot. But nothing could be done. Literally.
You couldn't be a part of the Irish Cup because then signed the wrong dates?
The wrong dates, yeah. Obviously they've put it to the end of the season and instead of
that extra week
after the Irish Cup final, yeah.
So you had to miss out?
I had to miss out completely. I remember, I'm obviously still a kid at the time, you're going onto the pitch, it's the old Windsor.
Yeah.
And they're asking you to do interviews live on TV and different things like that. And
fucking devastating.
You obviously, I've never seen the Irish Cup final before. And you go on and seeing the crowds and the atmosphere, and you're like, wow,
yeah,
how have I missed this? So that was my first taste
you're like,
and experience.
I'm fuming. I'm signing for Linfield.
100%.
Can't believe they done that to me.
They've done me a kipper here, I'm away.
Oh God. Wait, I've never heard of anything like that. I never knew that.
Did you not know? Yeah.
No. For all the research I've done, I never knew that you never played. Well, actually, I've done the Irish Cup, but I never knew that you didn't have the opportunity to play because of your contract.
Yeah.
That's... Who does that?
I don't know.
Must have been Jared.
That's all I'll say.
Linfield. So, is it something that you wanted to do to go to Linfield, or were you like, if you just got success at Cliftonville, ultimately you're thinking he's going to stay?
Who in the right mind?
Why would you leave?
Goes that?
Yeah.
Or does that? I am obviously only signing 1 year contracts. I've come back from what I was on in England. I only have football.
Yeah.
I've come back with not a penny in my pocket because I've spent it all
on cars.
And yeah, and David gives me a call. Obviously, I'm negotiating back and forth for Cliftonville, and there's no real movement. If I'm honest, David and Brian calls. I go down and meet them, and I get offered a better deal. And I probably didn't want to at the time, because I was happy where I was.
Yeah.
But I felt at that stage, at that age, to progress my career. Sorry, looking back now and saying otherwise, but I thought it was the right decision at the time. And again, I was offered a 2 year contract by David, and I turned it down and only signed the 1 year.
Yeah.
I just felt it was the right decision for me, football and financially, to be open and honest as well at that time.
It's hard to have a conversation with David and Brian and come away with not signing.
I know.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you go in there, you kind of go in there and you're like, I'm definitely putting pen to paper here.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It really is. Obviously, you go in and speak to him, David, you're probably always sort of thinking, going, I want to play for him.
Yeah.
He's won so much. I want to win trophies in my career. And, most of the time he's going to offer that. And it just made sense to me at the time. The praise I was getting from him, telling me, I'm going to be a big part. There was transition of players coming in, but want to go for the title again. I've obviously just experienced it the year before. So, yeah.
Linfield's different than Cliftonville. We all know that from the outside, but for somebody who's made that transition from Cliftonville across the road, how difficult was it and how hard was it whenever you had to go back and play against Cliftonville? Because there's one moment, and I'll never forget seeing it on TV. I can see it as clear as day. There's no stand-up-ins there. James Knowles about 40 yards out with a free kick against Cliftonville. And then when you do your research, you scored one goal for Linfield
Yeah.
in these appearances.
I know.
And you stuck in the top corner from a free kick.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were...
What was I thinking?
Ears are right. How did I go on?
Obviously, I needed to play that game. I was left out the week before, and I said to David, I was like, I need to play this game. Look, I've came here, it's against Cliftonville, and I just started the game, and I was getting dog's abuse. Knowles, you reject. and rightly so.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it was them, I would do the exact same thing. I'm not naive to that.
Yeah.
Anytime I was on the ball, booing, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I think Cliftonville go 1-0 up in the game, and then we get a free kick. I'm like 35 yards out.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking to myself, I don't care, I'm hitting this.
It's at that stage, like, when you see the distance, for anybody watching, you're kind of like, you're not going to shoot from there.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
if you see it, but you're kind of like...
I think maybe Dave was thinking that too. Who's he think he is shooting from there? But yeah, I was just angry in the game. We're 1-0 down, and we got the bit between my teeth, and I'm like, I'm just hitting this. And I've just hit it. It's come off my foot. As soon as it leaves,
Yeah.
you know what's going in past CC and nets. And then I'm running around, cutting the ears to stand. I'm after him thinking, going, oh no.
I've made this a lot worse.
What
for
have I
myself.
set myself for? But it was a wee bit of back and forth, and it was a bit of
That's
fun.
what makes football.
Young,
So, I
and
mean,
like
100%,
yeah,
you need it.
Yeah, back and forth.
They're always going to give you it too, so you have to give it back.
I know.
So, I mean, you can't take it all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
How was your time at Linfield?
My time at Linfield, I would probably say I made the move. Looking back now, far too soon.
Okay.
As you said previously, going to Linfield, there's different expectations. You're expected to win everything every year. You expect to win every game, and there's obviously a load of pressure on. I played all of Europe and done really well. I played probably 6-7 games at the start of the season, and then sort of like found my way out of the team. And obviously with myself in that position then, with what I thought in my head mindset wise, I want to get back to England, full-time football, blah blah blah, I was like, I can't cope with this.
Yeah.
I couldn't cope not playing. I had David tortured every other week, going, I need to start. That's what it was like. I was hungry to play, improve myself. And I was probably too impatient. You know, even not taking 2 years, you know, at the time, just doing the one, I was...
But your aspirations are, do you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
I need to do this. And then you're probably thinking, contract-wise, I don't want to be tied down because then somebody has to buy me. And
Yeah.
you're probably at that stage where you understand how it works.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just saying, I've won a great year playing games, stack up the numbers, and hopefully someone takes a chance on me.
Yeah.
At that stage, that's where I was. When I didn't do myself any justice, to be honest, in that year, because I wasn't playing games, obviously.
Summarize that up as more probably frustration on your part then. You didn't probably fulfill Linfield time as much as you would have liked.
Yeah, just massive frustration, and you know, I would have loved to, obviously, clearly. And I always have the saying, you can only control the controllable, and I just wasn't in control of whether I'm going to play or not play. I didn't really have the chance to show what I could do. And looking back now as well, I get it as well. You're just young, naive, and you're not ready at that time.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But just, yeah, frustrated and far, far too soon to make that move. And the grass isn't always greener.
It's not. Sometimes it's not, no.
No.
But one thing I have to summarise here and have to let people know is you come back, you go to Cliftonville, you win the league,
Yeah.
you win the League Cup, You go to Linfield, score against Linfield, cup in the air, celebrating.
Yeah.
Go back to Cliftonville. What's going on? Like, who goes back?
No.
The only thing is, and that shows you, Cliftonville fans up in Armsty.
100%.
James, come back. Sorry, we love you.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be tough. But again, that's me. And the way my brain works.
I've never heard of somebody doing that.
I'll win them back.
Yeah.
I'll win them back. I remember at the end of the season, I'm thinking to myself, looking at my phone going, will it text Georgie, will it text Brezzy? I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go down.
Yeah.
So I text Georgie again. He was like, look, I'll pass it on. And he was like, look, Brezzy's going to give you a call. So went with my tail between my legs. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
From a negotiation point, Jared Lawler's laughing. He's like, he's coming back. He's getting less.
Yeah, 100%. But Brezzy, being Brezzy, he was brilliant. And he was like, of course, look, we can make it happen. And he made it happen. I knew it was going to be really difficult. Obviously, you'll get some that will accept it, some that won't accept it, completely understand it. And I felt I did eventually win them all back over.
100%. Because you became successful again.
I did, yeah, and it was a really good time for me. Them 3 years that I re-signed for Cliftonville, I loved the place. I think it was a period where Skin had just taken over, as well, and I was playing every week, really enjoying myself. We go on to win another League Cup, and it's just at that stage there was a whole transition of players, like Tomas playing every week, Levi coming in, Jay Donnelly's coming in. And it was just a great team.
It's so different too, isn't it? Because that's pretty much the whole reserve team have kind of stepped up.
Yeah.
The majority that have came through at that stage, everyone had been with or I'd be with it. Except most reserves. Tomas became so consistent. Jay jumped in, started scoring goals. I think Rory had left. Boyce had left. Joe was still there. Still an incredible team, but it was very young compared to what was there previous.
Yeah, it was, but the big thing then was you had the leaders before that they'd already seen, that had been there and done it, and they had a taste of it.
Yeah.
Nearly like myself at that early stage. If
you kind of carry it on.
And you're like, I have to be like them to carry it on. So you had them young boys coming in. I think Davey McDade had signed at the time as well. He was brilliant for us. But yeah, they'd seen that and they still had that sort of expectation, of the club then at that point, that we need to go and win things. And yeah, we carried it on, and it was good. To be fair to Jared, I loved him. I thought he was a great manager and a great time.
Did you leave before Jared left?
So Jared, I think in around 2017 maybe would it have been, I had left the Sligo. I had actually had knee surgery in and around then, so I did, where I just fell, no one near me, dislocated my kneecap, had to get surgery and out for probably 8 months or so in and around then. But in and around the same time as when I left the Jared, because I remember going down to Sligo when I was just coming back from my knee surgery to go down and do a bit of training with him.
Right. How was that period for you, knowing that you're injured? Because injuries are something that we all struggle with, but the mental side of injuries, especially sustained at like long periods, is very, very difficult.
Really difficult. And I think I was probably home for 4 years at this point, and that's when I needed surgery and was going out of the game. And I think it was that moment where my mindset sort of nearly switched, of being like, football probably isn't going to happen at full-time level. And I had probably times within that moment where I'm stuck on my own thoughts of going, what am I going to do? Football's all I know. And I struggled at that moment in time. And that's when myself and Camille, my now wife, had probably started the plan of, right, let's do this. let's go into this. But that helped me along. That
What age
period,
would you have been?
I was 24, 25 at that stage.
So you're trying to plan the future.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening after football at this stage?
Yeah. Now, if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's probably all Camille. She would probably say the right words to
Get you go and be like, yeah, you know what, you're probably right.
Yeah, you're right. I would think about it, and it would gradually change over time. Smart woman.
Manipulative, you mean?
Knew what, yeah, she knew what was coming before I did. But yeah, we had sort of planned in around that stage. I think Camille was in a marketing job. She just finished her degree, and she got a job within marketing that she absolutely hated.
Right.
And I remember us just sitting in a coffee shop in Lisburn Square, and I asked her a question. If you were to put something in here, most of the shops were
empty.
empty, nothing there. And she was like, beauty salon, a service where customers need to come to us because there's not much footfall around the square at that stage. And I was the risky one, right? I was like, let's do it. She was a wee bit more, but she was the brains behind it all and doing business plans. And
one question I want to ask you here, right? This just popped into my head, right? Is you're saying that she was the person behind it?
Yeah.
If a kid asks you now, who's 24, what you should start doing, what would you say to them for finishing football? I'm 24. I'm in your position that you were in 24. Mm-hmm. You were just saying there that you probably wouldn't have done anything. Mm-hmm. I guarantee it's a different question now. You would be like, you need to do this.
You need to do this 100%. I'm so thankful. Like you can sort of switch it. Me in my position now at 33, for example, that was 8 years ago.
Yep.
If I knew what I had to go through again now at 33 to get to this stage, I probably go, oh no, what have I done? Why didn't
8 years of graft?
Why didn't I start then? So 100% if I was the
You'd be giving that advice now?
I'd be saying that now every day of the week, yeah.
Smart woman.
Yeah.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Action! Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm gonna need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
100%.
Back to football.
Yeah.
Clinville kind of ties you up. You've just had your knee operation. You're kind of getting yourself back. But again, you go to one of the other, like, you talk about the big two.
Yeah.
You've obviously got a tripod. You've got Clinville there. You've got Linfield. And then you make a move to the Glens. Is that something that you wanted to do?
No. Okay. Straight up no. That season, Barry Gray had to come in. I think we didn't qualify for Europe or something like that, and there was a lot of, wage cuts going about, and I wasn't on big money, and mine was being cut at the time, and there was no negotiating on it. And I'm just a big believer in, like, just give me what I'm worth and I'll not negotiate anymore. And that's basically what it came down to. At that time, I really didn't want to leave Clinville. I wanted to stay there.
Okay.
Which annoys me slightly. But again, that closes another great opportunity that the Glens come knocking, which obviously a huge club, and you're maybe a wee bit more ready for that opportunity at the Glens than I was at the Blues, having had 3 more years experience behind me.
See, one of the best things about doing the podcast is, like, you get to give players perceptions of actually what happens. So a lot of Clinville fans are probably thinking, he's got a chance to go to Glen, he's left.
Yeah.
And they don't know the actual context of why you've had to leave. And the reasons are that you never actually intended to leave at all.
Yeah. I know
nice to be
it's,
able to
it's
give
not
that.
something that you can obviously come out and
Well, Twitter back in the day
go
would have
on
been.
Twitter and
I didn't want to
just
leave.
post.
Didn't give me the money.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've got to do this for myself. I'm just a big believer in just, you know, give me what I'm worth, and that's fine.
And are they in
Mine
Europe at
should
this
have stayed
stage?
the same.
Are they in Europe at this stage, Glens?
No,
No, so they're not either.
no.
So it's not like you're going to be like, I'm chasing European football or whatever. It's just, I never wanted to go.
Yeah,
Opportunity arose. I took it, got the money I was deserved.
yeah.
Very simple. Like football is simple too,
It is, yeah.
but people don't see that.
No, that they don't see that side, of course. You know what I mean? That they put it on you saying, "Oh, you're the worst in the
Money
world.
grabber, or you're going this.
You're jumping ship again, blah blah blah," but don't see what goes on behind the scene. And look, it is what it is. Barry's come in as well. He's new manager, offering you a deal. Of course, maybe he needs to see a wee bit more of you. And it's a game of opinions.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy with that too. Like
Yeah.
I'll not hold any grudge at all with absolutely anyone. And look, I sort of just stood my ground and was like, look, I need to take this opportunity over this one, you know, which annoyed me. I wanted to stay at Cliftonville. I have to just say that.
Does Glens turn out the way that you wanted it to, or think that it's going to turn out? And who's the manager of the Glens at this stage?
Gary Hebner.
Gaz is
Yeah.
okay.
Gaz, yeah.
Gaz had her at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Spoke to Gaz, and what a man. Obviously at the Glens, I'm like, big club, big challenge, and you've probably heard it all before when Glens players saying it's like, look, we want to wake the giant up. Well, you know, I seen it as a challenge at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's players coming in the door, and you really want to be the one that goes in the door and then they're successful, which is always going to be the plan when you sign. And I love a challenge, clearly. If you can jump from Cliftonville to Linfield to Cliftonville.
This we've all been there. I just haven't jumped to the same caliber of teams, but
yeah,
I've had the same amount probably.
yeah. So yeah, I loved it. I loved Gaz. Played a load of games for him, and look, it didn't turn out exactly how we wanted.
When you look at playing at Linfield and playing at Glentoran, the stresses that people talk about playing under those teams and the expectations, did you feel that when you went in, even though they weren't at a stage where they should be competing at that stage?
Yeah. The demands again is scary. They expect you to win, and that's just going off, you know, the years of success and the history that the club's had. And to be fair, then when you look at the squad and what we were competing against then at that stage, you know, it probably wasn't going to come.
Yeah.
But the fans are still thinking that, can we do it, and holding on to that. And again, it didn't happen. You know, you get beat a couple of games and you can feel the frustration from the fans coming. And you look, the players are trying everything. You know, they feel it too. So yeah, it was a difficult time, to be fair.
I'm not saying that you were probably happy to leave, but when Davey and Brian phoned you after this to go to Ballymena, they were in the shit before we signed. You came in the second year?
I think so, yeah.
Second year. Happy to leave? Happy to go?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it comes down to when David and Brian give you a call, like, you go down and have the chat anyway. And went down to Kerr's Corner. I think it was, did you meet him there?
Course Corner.
Course Corner, yeah. Went down, spoke to him and Brian by myself, and they offered me a deal, and they wouldn't let me leave the table until it was set.
Just holding your hand.
You're
not going.
Who do you need to speak to? You make a decision.
Just phone. I know, I need to go home and speak to my parents. No, just phone them. Be alright.
I phoned them there. We'll wait on you. Do you want a coffee?
As he offered, I remember meeting him, Paul McMurray was there, and he had said to me, he's like, do you want a pint? And I was like, is this a test? Do you know, like, if I asked for a pint of Guinness here, is he going to be like, he's not for us? So I was like, no, take a water. Fuming, she'll take a pint.
100%.
So, but
100%.
What a time. So we meet up again, second stage, we go back in.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, Ballymena kind of
at that
really
stage,
pushes.
You know, it attracted me because obviously David going in there again, you know, he's going to want to compete at the top or he just wouldn't go. So we sat down. He told us the plans. He told us the players that he's interested in and potentially had signed already before me. And you look at that photo that they put up at that stage where it was like a statement photo that I had signed, Jude had signed, Johnny Addis, Andy McMurray, and a couple others.
Like Lackey, I think.
Was Lex then too, yeah.
Came in that year as well.
And I was like, yeah, need this.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
It was different. We'd just made Europe and you came in. And then that was the year where we came second.
Second, yeah.
Right the whole way through. Devastating.
Brilliant.
It was one of the best seasons up until that game against Linfield. But
yeah.
And when people say to you, like, what was the success? It was like very similar. It was like we were out every Saturday. Everyone was like drinking every week.
Yeah.
You were just back in. You made your run the Tuesday. You done your tactics on the Thursday and wee games, and then you played the Saturday. It's very basic.
100%, literally. And it's a good group. When you look back to it, like successful teams, it's always a good group that get on with each other, drink together, and you know, when it's time to work, everyone works hard and everyone's in the same boat. And that year, I just remember we just kept winning.
Just kept winning, yeah.
Just kept winning. And like this league's, as soon as you win 2, 3, it's like momentum changes, your mindset changes. Like this league,
and then other teams get it. And then it's like, yeah, they're flat at the minute. Then it's just rolls.
Christmas time, we were top of the league. Yeah, and we were playing against the Blues. I think we beat them around that period as well. Maybe on TV too. But yeah, it was unbelievable. What a team. We just kept winning. We got into the League Cup final just before then as well. And we were playing the Blues as well. And that's when I get injured in that game.
You do your knee in that game?
I do my knee again. My other knee.
Okay.
Which I remember doing it at half time. Matty Clark had tackled me and my sort of foot had planted in the ground. And I've come in and David's asked me, you alright? You alright? And I'm like, I'm sweet. I'm sweet. Jumping about, trying to keep it loose. And I sit down while he's doing a team talk and I get back up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't move my knee. It's just swollen up. I'm like, nah, I need to come off. That's me done. So I ended up getting beat. And then I think we ended up going up to Tully Glass or something that night and ended up having a few drinks and that with the players as well. So got it out of the system even though we were disappointed. But yeah, it was difficult because you do your knee again.
Just sets you back, especially whenever you're on that run where you're like, I'm fully back now. Because that's the first time where I've been in the team and you're like, you've consistently won.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, whenever you've settled in,
you're on a run.
And then you're like, we're actually winning.
Yeah.
Everything about the whole club is good, it's happy. And you actually felt like you couldn't be beat in a way. If that's, you're like, we're going to do every game, we're going to win here.
No, literally, yeah. The way we were set up.
Yeah, probably the best season.
And then just to get that, you're obviously going for the title at that stage. We're sort of still in it. It was us and Linfield, and you obviously get the scans and realise it's bad and you need an up, and you're going and watching basically the running of the title race, and
mentally that must be
nice. You know more than any. Obviously having it recently.
Chinese, yeah,
it's brutal.
These are brutal.
Madness.
There's no need for them. Like, you know, if they were just to be alright all the time, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But the one thing that got me about that was like that midfield. You had pushed like Tony Kane out. There was a couple of players who were in there.
Okay, yeah.
And you had kind of taken over. There was you, Jude, and Leroy. You had 2 ball players, and then you had 1 animal who just like that season before. And I'll say this, and I don't want to get the FDM proved here, but I've never seen a kid go away after 1 season and come back in pre-season, and all he did was say I had tuna and rice, and I was like, Leroy, I haven't eaten tuna and rice. Maybe I'm eating too much, but I never came back as shredded as you did. He was a freak,
crazy. just playing week in, week out with them two, it was nearly perfect. You had me in the 6 and feeding it to Jude. Jude was
Carry a ball, yeah.
honestly,
So
whenever he's on it, like there's not many better. And then you had the legs for all three of us, and Leroy just running everywhere, landing on every second ball, getting into the box, scoring goals, and he's ended up having a top career.
Yeah.
So he hasn't just went strength to strength from it.
Just shows you too, doesn't it, that like, you can just kick on massively regardless. Full-time football's obviously helped him. I know he's been set back, but for him to go from where he was as a left back to a centre midfielder, the winning player of the year, incredible. Like
it is,
and like
literally,
he'll say himself, not technically close to anywhere like what you could do with the ball, but
no, any time I play against him, I say he's touched like a rebound pick. I mean, he just runs in, bounces it back, and just runs again. Do you know what I mean?
The one thing that always upset me was like he used to sprint back, so he used to chase a ball out of play.
Yeah,
like near enough, pick the ball up, put it in the spot for a goal kick, and then he sprinted past everybody, and I'm like, why are you that fit? Like, take it easy.
On him.
Yeah, must have. I used to put it in the dog, trying to get the miles up.
Yeah,
but Ballymena was a great time. We had so much fun. The nights out that we had, it was like, it was the first time it was really like a community for me. Yeah, that I felt, because the groups went out with each other on a Saturday. I mean, we spent Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday night, then back in Tuesday. You seen your mates so much more than you seen any of your family members.
I know. But that's David again, just bringing in the players that he knows is good people first and foremost, as he always says. And I loved my time there. Like I really did. Just the people around. Like even mentioned Burtnell, who's away from the club recently. Like what a legend! He would have done anything for you. And then the players, a lot of them characters. And legends. It was a brilliant time, and the only thing that was really probably missing for me in the 3 years that I was there was getting over the line and winning something. Yeah, because I think you had won before the season that I had arrived, didn't it?
We won the League Cup,
wasn't it?
Which was the first.
Yeah,
and then you done Europe, and then they were consistent in Europe for a couple of years.
Yeah,
but you can never get after that second year where we came that close. It kind of just kicked the balls with it, and it was like,
yeah,
we've got that close. You think you're going to do it, and then
you're beating the League Cup, you're beating the Shield, and then we were beating the Irish Cup.
The Irish Cup,
the year of COVID, I think it was only 500 there. And again, brutal. Another Irish Cup that you think, it's the one I need.
Yeah,
it's the one I want.
I just want to
just give
finish
me
off
more,
all. Just
please,
just take it.
Yeah, and obviously the feeling that day going the extra time, one each, and then the Glen scoring late on, you're like, oh no, yeah, here's another one, which was a nightmare.
Last of all, finished off where you are now, Dungannon.
Yeah.
What made you want to take the chance to go to Dungannon? Because, and this is, I don't want this to sound bad, but it fits you because of how you play football. But it's how Rodney sets up to play football. You, like, consistently have probably the best rotations in the league.
Yeah.
These are 3 ball players. The midfield's so dynamic. You've added Keelan Dillon, who sits in there with you. And at times you just feel like, even when you set up against them, there's just no point in going anywhere. You're actually just better off trying to block the midfield 3, and then next minute somebody's at left back, and you're like, fuck's sake, your left back's up the line. You're saying, well, it's an incredible way to set up, but
yeah,
it suits you.
It does, and you say signing there's a risk, and like I was thinking at the time the one I was missing was the Irish Cup, and it's not being disrespectful. You do sign for Dungannon, and you're sort of like, maybe it's passed me by.
Yes,
slightly, and those first 2 seasons you're fighting relegation. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, and
it was the hard work and a hard graft, and then you have it completely switched, where Rods comes in and we're competing against the best. And I think it sort of comes from the split of his first year.
Okay.
Where we go into the split and we win 5 games in a row. And we then follow that into the following season.
Just momentum.
Just momentum, just belief. The players he obviously signs, bringing Kilo in, who is ridiculous.
One player that I love is the wee lad Glennie.
Top.
And he's a magnet. And I say this every time. I don't know the kid. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with him. But see, any time there's a corner, he heads the ball. It goes to his head every time.
Unbelievable near.
I swear, I'm like, how is he's just attracted. Every corner, I'm like, he'll head that ball. I know it's coming. I'm like, just stand on him. Like, it's going to him.
Yeah, what a player.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he won the player of the year last year, rightly so. And
yeah, brilliant.
He doesn't miss a header and probably underestimated on the ball.
Yes, yeah.
Because he's told to come inside. If our centre mid comes out the left, he goes inside to fill that space and can do it so naturally as well. Again, we Scotty on the other side. He's just a workhorse, loves the game. What a kid. You've Kilo's a top player. Biggie, who's come in, very good. The next level. Knows the game, understanding. John McGovern, obviously, got his year of the Irish Cup. Was top drawer, and I can't forget McCarskill that season of the Irish Cup. Obviously, big deck man. Danny Wallace,
the Waldo.
Yeah, Waldini. He thinks he believes everything changed once he came in the door.
He's the laziest guy in the world. 1 minute you see him, he's kicking lumps, and then next minute he's just carrying the ball up the other box.
Most improved player in the world.
Where have you got this?
Anytime you played against him, get it down.
Yeah, he can't head it. Remember, Davey used to say he could never head the ball down. You stand left back.
But he's come in and he's been unreal. So he has unreal. And then Tom Maguire.
Oh, we told us there. Well, he left it recently with the
he's
yeah.
One out in Lung de Cruz. Who's a top player, no doubt he'll
do well.
Yeah, come back and do really well for us too.
Dedicated. I seen a picture of him as top off earlier.
Serious.
What's up, boy? Come on. Where do people get the motivation?
That's
it. You know what I mean?
I'm coming to you for my wedding holidays. What are you
going like this? But
yeah,
as you've touched on there, you're thinking I'm going to sign for Dungannon. Chances of me winning the Irish Cup is pretty much no.
Yeah,
you're down there. European, you go through the playoffs, you go right up, you finish top 4 into Europe, first win in Europe history, Irish Cup, winners medal.
Yeah,
it became an incredible place to be.
It was. Honestly, you couldn't rate it. And as I say, it came from the following season, the split running into that season, and you're doing so well. And you're always in the top 6.
Yeah.
You're competing. You're beating the top teams, the full-time teams in the league. And it carries on. And the Irish Cup is obviously special. You want it so much. And I always go back to the quarter-final in it, away to Carrot, where Dacky makes an unbelievable save to stop Carrot, go 2-0 up. Claws it off the line. It's not like him. And I thought from that moment, we're going to win this game.
Yes.
We go 1-0 down, half time. You come out second half. You know what it's like, go out of Carrick. It's one of the hardest places to go.
Dog, yeah.
And you go and win 2-1. And the semi-final comes up against Bangor, which... No disrespect, you have a big opportunity. You're going in as favourites. You're expected to win. And going into that game, I was probably more nervous for it than the final.
Yeah.
We play reasonably well in the game. I'm glad we sort of scored early. Everyone was sort of comfortable on the ball to start with, which was good. We ended up winning 2-0, and I can just remember the relief after of going, yes, that was done.
Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is your bogey game, isn't it? They're top of the championship at this stage. and they're like direct, but like very direct. Their
Yeah.
balls are long. The big man up front, Arthur's just and people running off. It's kind of like an old Crusaders type thing.
Yeah, literally. And you can't help it. You're sort of thinking, going, if we don't go through this one, like, you work so hard for nothing. And it's a huge, huge opportunity, a semi-final. And we ended up doing it. 2-0, big Dean Curry.
I know, what a man.
Oh,
I always thought,
guy.
not to put a damper on this year, but I know you said he was always going to retire. Surely you just stay. You come back. You just do one more. You're like,
I don't think
one
he
more.
could. I think he'd retired about 3 times over that season.
He's a machine. He's up against it.
honestly.
He's a complete machine. You're
Oh.
like, what?
Like, just someone that you need in your team.
Yeah.
Loves defending.
Yeah, loves it. Yeah.
It comes into the box, you know he wants to go and head
He's
it.
physical. He's strong.
Yeah, and to be fair, this year he's been a big miss for us because we've probably conceded too many goals as well, and it's probably from that, just balls into the box, set pieces. You know, someone there to go and head the ball. But what a guy!
Yeah.
What a way to go out as well.
I don't know. He can't really do it much better,
No.
can you? Finishing on winning the biggest trophy in the Hampshire, like.
Him and Chrissy Kern the year before, obviously too.
Daggy Goodell,
But- Did he?
He
Yeah.
retired after, or maybe did he go back? Baxter probably gave him another year. Got rid of me. But it's a fantastic way for you to kind of go, and you're still active. You're still there.
Yeah, you obviously get into the final, and you're like, at the stage now, you're like, it's writ.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't wait for it. You know what it's like more than anyone. You have the day. I've said this before. I've done a documentary thing recently with the BBC that they're bringing out for the Irish Cup final, and were asking me about the night before. And I've done something mental. It's
Right.
not like me. I set my alarm the night before saying, you're an Irish Cup winner.
Right.
So that it was the first thing that I'd wake up and see in the morning. And you're obviously thinking to yourself, you'll see it the following morning.
Yeah.
I don't see either fact or not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Okay. But I done something mad just to, play in the mind, and that's what I done. That was the first thing I done in the morning. You get up, you put your suit on, you're looking fresh, you go down to the ground, and all the boys are there, all the fans are there for the flowers, everyone's feeling good, and just
It's just
real
the
good
best
buzz,
atmosphere, isn't it? It is.
Yeah. And you obviously go. We went to Hilton Temple Patrick for food before, and Rod's had a great touch of, he had played videos from everyone's family member and wife before we get onto the bus to go to the game.
Right.
Fuck me, it was near Gurnon.
See, this is my thing. I would cry. I think I'm too emotional. I'd be like, I don't want to see everybody tell like good luck and all that would get me like.
It was the perfect timing, because from Hilton Temple Patrick to the ground, it wasn't like you're just about to go out onto the pitch,
Yes.
and it was showing then, and you're too emotional.
Yeah.
It was a nice sort of, you had to
Greater,
drive
like,
to get there, and it was a great touch, and everyone felt that you want to do it for them, which you do. Do you know what I mean?
Give us a brief overview of the celebrations.
Ridiculous.
Couple of days.
Yeah. The whole feel, I was just so happy for the whole club. I'd been there for, this would be my 4th year, and to see grown men cry
Yeah.
that they wanted it that much, to see the fans that you've connected with in the stand crying as well, and it was for them. And then you go to your family and you see your dad, you see your granddad, you see your uncles, my wife Camille. That's all who it was for, to put an added touch of being like, no, I've done something. I'm properly proud of this.
Yes.
To go and win all 3. But the celebrations after, I couldn't have done it with a better group of fellas, honestly. After every game on a Saturday, everyone's up the stairs having a pint together. We're all a big family, we're mates, and that includes the management and the board and the supporters. SO49, they've done an amazing job recently in trying to attract more fans to the games, and different things like that. And lifelong fans that don't win every week and got a bit of success.
Yeah.
That's who it was for.
Getting into Europe and playing that game where you just get the win, one of the most ridiculous goals as well. It's mental, by the way.
Yeah.
I forget his name actually, but
Sean McAllister.
yeah, McAllister, that's it, the wee right winger.
Yeah.
But that high period, win the Irish Cup, going and play in Europe, going away in Europe in general is fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Getting the experience of what it's like.
Yeah.
And usually, most times I don't know, it's a difficult time to play because teams are usually so far ahead.
Yeah.
To get a win, the club's first win in history, back-to-back history, must have been incredible.
Unbelievable. And you say about the levels, we realised the level within the first 15 minutes. I was on the bench and I was looking at it going, oh, wow. It's ridiculous. I've obviously played a couple of times in Europe and they were up there, like, in terms of on the ball, maybe overplaying and not getting behind them and so on. But for us to go then and defend really well, go and score that goal, Sean McAllister is just in the door. Literally a legend. To score it on his weak side, you know, and in front of the fans. He travelled in their numbers, by the way. It was unreal.
That makes it so much better, doesn't it? The people,
like,
they're probably, like, in hindsight, how many times you're going to see that? Yeah. So I mean, they've caught something special.
Yeah, it was. And like, after the game, they'd obviously done it. Everyone's buzzing. We're travelling home at, like, I think it's 7 a.m. the bus is there. And you go into the town and all the fans are there and buying you pints, and I think we had 3 or 4 pints, and then everyone was back to the hotel. But I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think many boys did sleep either. We were up in the hotel and having a good time.
You should. It's one of those, I think Europe's, like, for anybody that gets to play in Europe, they all say the same thing. Like, it's the whole situation around. You go away, you travel together, couple of days, fun, play the game, few beers, create memories, then back home.
100%. Like, the whole connection. Yeah. Just everyone feels in. Yeah. Even new signings coming into the squad, you can't get away with it. You can't.
Plus, they can do their songs. You have a bit of crack on their behalf, and that's football, isn't it?
100%.
That is football.
It is, and it's. I'm lucky enough to be in that Cliftonville side that had that, and now Dungannon that have that, and you can sort of compare the both of, like, top players, yes, but can have that connection of all friends off the pitch as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's massively important.
You're still playing now. Still at Dungannon. A few more years left.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
To be honest, it has crossed my mind of thinking about retirement.
Okay.
I think I still can offer more currently. It's hard to gauge at the minute, to be honest, because there's obviously top players at Dungannon that's playing in my position, and I'm not feeling aches and pains because I'm not playing as much as I would like currently. So it's hard to make the decision. The only way I would make the decision to call it a day now would probably be due to just business and work, with being so busy Monday to Friday. But I know I probably, like, miss it instantly. So it's obviously very, very hard.
It is. And it's such a big decision to make, isn't it? Like, thankfully for me, people have just wrote me off. So I didn't really have a say. People just like, he's now retired, started a podcast. I'm like, well, thanks for retirement. I'm 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chill out. But, I mean, you're in a situation where, I mean, you could easily just put the anchor down, swivel around the centre circle, and sling balls.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'll see what happens. I'll see what happens towards the end of the year. Something might come up. I might fancy just chilling and taking time out for a couple of years before I think what I do after, if I do stay in the game. But I'll see. I'm really not sure because I can't make the decision yet. I don't know what offers are there as well. I will get speaking with Dungannon, obviously, and if it's there, I'll obviously be there if I want to continue to.
And is your contract up this year?
My contract's up this year. Yeah, my contract's up this year.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Couple of managers.
No.
I wish this wasn't planned. This is just me being me. But listen, you have a lot on.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, folks, Finest Blinds Lisburn. Let's make sure that we look after people. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and we have another shirt.
Yes.
Look at that.
For you.
European winners game shirt. I'm going to say that anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Jimmy Knowles, 2 shirts out of 2.
Absolute pleasure. We finish on hugs. Been looking forward to it. I look forward to that, is it? Thank you so much. You know what, I really appreciate
this time. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was. Loved it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, mate.
Join us next week on the On The Spot Football Podcast for yet another fantastic guest. Tune in. It'll be released on Sunday. See you soon.